Hi everyone, in this brief tutorial we're going to look at how to change the prong shape for our wire settings. So something like this, we have our round prongs here, and then we have this different shape prong here. And how do we go about doing this in a quick way with our current wire setting? It's actually quite simple. I'm just going to place a wire setting on this pair that I have. I'll do the wire plus stone, and we're going to drop that on there. And I'll confirm here and update some of the parameters in the tweak command. So activate that. We'll thicken up on these, and just thinking about keeping these ones the way we like, since we will be changing this profile out here. So typically I like to, let's bring the bezel length below girdle down slightly, and we'll thicken up on these, maybe make them 1.25 at the top, 1mm at the bottom, our prongs. I'm going to just give it a slight negative elevation of the girdle there. Seat width, I like to make this, let's make this 1mm, make it a good amount of material there. And the rest I'm happy with. I may take out the bend, I think that's, where's the bend? Down here, so I'm going to take out the bend. Let's go for a 0. And prong height above girdle, increase it 1mm. There we go, and we're going to give this a taper by reducing our bottom gem lengths and widths. Okay, these are currently the same as the top, so we're going to have straight sides. If we reduce this something like this, we're going to be having a taper. Yeah, it's a pretty heavy taper. There we go, just a slight one. Okay, so we've created our wire setting the way we want it with these prongs. Now we just need to switch out this one, and it's easy to do. We just edit the component. We right click on the component. Okay, you may have to set your entity filter to component, or if you do it with the entity filter set to all, it will naturally select it as a component. We right click and we select this icon, edit part. Okay, and then we'll edit the history of the component. In previous versions of the software, we were able to just double click and enter into the history, but in this case we can't. We have to right click, edit. Okay, right click, modify, or edit part. Okay, so now we're in the history of this wire setting. We can see how it's built. If you move the model stop up to the top, we can see how it is built. Okay, and we're just going to use this to change out our prong at the head there. Okay, we're going to give it a different profile, and it's very simple. We just need to change the profile that is swept along this line. Okay, you may wish to step through the history and just take a look at how this wire setting is built, and it will give you a good understanding of how you can make customizations. But essentially we are sweeping a profile along, or doing a drive curve loft of two profiles along this line, this curve. And you'll see that this sketch, well, not this sketch quite yet, we're still working on the round prongs. We'll play it through, there we go. So in fact we did a copy there. There was a copy of this profile onto there. So I'm copying this profile onto here and this profile onto here. I don't need either of them, so I'm going to delete them. Okay, so I'm just going to do delete next operation. Okay, so we no longer have the copy. We're just going to place our own profile there. Okay, so we're going to come into the design sketches ring tab. I take that back, it will be in the gems and settings. We have some prong sketches. I believe if we come into this prongs tab, we have a whole bunch of different sketches that we can use for the prongs, and you'll see that we have one that quite closely matches this prong here, and we're going to go for this one here. So I'm just going to place these on these sketches here, and you may wish to do a sweep with this linear scale to get the taper in the actual prong, because here we had the 1.25mm at the top, 1mm at the bottom. I don't think it'd be quite so easy to assign that parameter to this shape since we have many more dimensions. So in fact, I will just do, if I unpick that, I'm just going to be sweeping this with a linear scale to get that taper in the prong. So I just need one profile. And let's play it through until these lofts start taking place. So we'll play the planes, we have these moves, and okay, so the first loft clearly is this one, and it's going to fail because we've deleted those sketches. So we're going to get rid of that loft operation as well. I just deleted that loft. We'll play this one, the next loft, and it should be this one. It should play fine, and it does. Okay, so we just need to sweep now this sketch along this curve, and we'll do the linear scale. First of all, we're going to want to update our parameters. Okay, I think I want to add some material here, make this a bit thicker at the top, so I'm going to change my filter into dimension, and why don't we come into a top view? It might give us a better angle. I mean, it's not bad. Let's make this 1mm. I'm going to change my step size to 0.05. I'll take off solve manually just so I can see the sketch move. Okay. I like to do this so I can see it move, and then I just place it back on, press OK, and it's going to stay there without regenerating the history. Okay, so now I'm going to change maybe this to take off the solve manually, change it again, you see it moving. 0.6, that seems fine. And I'm going to tighten up on this, make it a similar angle to that of the point of our pair here. So take off solve manually and move it, something like that. And I'm happy with these parameters now. Well, no, I'm going to move it out a bit. I'm going to come to a top view again, check solve manually, and we're going to modify this parameter now. So, okay, it's not moving for me. So this dimension isn't going to work for us. I'll just have to move it, force move it with a move command. So I'm going to confirm here with the solve manually unchecked, and our history will regenerate and these dimensions will become permanent. Okay, so now I just need to move it, shape, move the sketch, and I could just do it like this, but I like a bit more precision, so I'll use my third move along direction, pick the direction along the Y or negative Y of the datum plane the sketch is on, and I'm just going to tweak it out. Let's go for a nice number, 0.6. Okay, and then we're going to come in with our sweep, shape, here we go, sweep, pick the profile, pick the path that's already there, and like I said, I want to add that linear scale. So in this transform box we have scale, linear, and we'll scale it 0.75. I mean, that's not too far off from the scale we have here. Maybe 0.8 is a bit more accurate. Okay, so we can maybe uncheck keep curves. I don't think we need them. And we should be able to just replay the rest of history. We may have to do a bit of repicking with this shape, so let's see how we go. Okay, so it got stuck on this divide 4. I'm going to edit it. Just need to pick this prong, and it's splitting it to allow for the bend. Okay, so even though I had the bend at 0, we'll still update it just in case we want to add that in. there's a dome on here, and I don't want to add the dome there, so I'm just going to delete this dome. If I wanted to, I could place, for example, a fillet. Let's come into the loop fillet, 0.1, pick it all, increase this. There we go, we have a rounded top. Try and replay these morphs. Okay, some will fail. Well, I just want to make sure that they are okay. Well, they're all suppressed anyway because of our attributes as having a 0 bend. So let's just increase this number to 10, and we'll probably have to link these up. Well, I take that back, it's actually stayed linked nicely, so no bend is necessary, no linkage is necessary. Let's set that back to 0 and replay all. Okay, it's getting stuck at a trim. Edit the trim. It's just going to be picking this shape. And it looks like we need to combine these together, doing a combine add. So let's undo that. Come back to the combine add. Edit it. And we're picking this one. Okay, so we have a complete shape there. And replay, redefine the trim, pick our shape, replay the planes, and that is it. We have our changed Y setting. We can now exit back into our main part level. Okay, I'm noticing that the trim is bad there, so let's see what's going on with that before we move on. That's fine. Okay, so it looks like this move. We need to edit the move and pick that shape as well. There we go. Okay, I'll exit back into the main part. Here is our bezel. Y setting. I'm going to save it here. Save it as this part 02, and we're going to look at something. Okay, so when we have created this, we'll see it in our root area. Okay, there it is. This is the halo. Sorry, not the halo, the Y setting that we've created. Okay, now sometimes when you regenerate the history, or perhaps replay an operation, say this Y setting, confirm. Okay, you see, even though we tweak it, well, magically the tweak turned it back into this one. But if we were to edit the tweak, let's see if I am going to eat my words here. Let's say we make the prong height above go 1.5 and confirm and regenerate. Okay, so when we tweaked something, it caused us to lose our modified Y setting. Okay, so if that happens, if you do need to tweak it, then you don't have to recreate the Y setting, you just have to reinsert it from the from your root environment as a component. So actually what you can do here is delete both of these operations, right click, insert component. Let's turn on the graphic preview. We know it's this one, right? Yep. You can rename this if you want to. We're going to insert this on the datum plane that we placed the stone on. Okay, so now this is referenced directly from our root level, so it's linked directly up to this part, okay, with this history. So it's referenced directly, and no matter what regenerating we do, we could even apply tweaks to this. It doesn't matter, since it's referenced directly from the from our own root level, then we're going to always end up with our modified result. And you may wish to save this part as your own custom part and be able to insert it into any build. Okay, so that's how we can create the different prong.